Hello everyone, this is Troop Gaming, and today I wanted to talk about one of the worst specials in Splatoon 3, Splatter Color Screen, why it's so bad and how I would go about fixing it. If you like this type of content, please subscribe for more, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. Let's start off with the basics of Splatter Color Screen. Splatter Color Screen is a special that, once thrown, deploys a giant wall that slowly moves forward, paints underneath it, and damages enemies upon contact. Now, note that it's not a wall in the same way that Splash Wall is a wall. It won't deflect the enemy team's shots, it just makes it so that they can't see through the area where it's at. When an enemy gets hit by a Splatter Color Screen, it makes their vision grayscale and it makes everything sound staticky. It also makes bubbles appear over their player's head when they get hit. Here is an example of what that looks and sounds like. This may sound like it does a lot, but it's really not that great. For one, it only deals 30 damage. Hello everyone, Future Trooper here. So, in the middle of editing this video, the 7.2.0 balance patch came out, and as stated in the patch notes, Splatter Color Screen's damage increased from 30 to 40. Not a very significant change, but a change nonetheless. Alright, back to the video. Which doesn't really combo with most of the weapons that Splatter Color Screen is on. Another thing is that this thing moves incredibly slow. If you throw it into a team fight, half the time you have to throw it way further forward than you think you should because it moves so slow, and it hardly ever hits anyone. The grayscaling effect really doesn't hurt that much either, unless you have sensory issues, in which case it makes the game almost unplayable. If you don't have sensory issues though, you can basically ignore it and you should be fine. The only way it really helps in a somewhat significant way is that it allows short-range weapons to move forward without being seen. The problem with that though is that the screen doesn't actually block the enemy's shots, and it blocks your vision so you can't see through it. In short, there's no real reason to use this special, and to further prove my point, I'm going to be making a small comparison with another special in the game. Let's compare this thing to Inkstorm for a moment. Splatter Color Screen is a special that you throw and it slowly moves forward after you throw it. Inkstorm is a special that you throw and it moves forward a little bit faster after you throw it. Splatter Color Screen paints underneath it. Inkstorm also paints underneath it, but it paints way better. Splatter Color Screen damages enemies when they touch it. Inkstorm constantly damages the enemies as long as they're under this Inkstorm. Splatter Color Screen makes it a little bit safer for your team to move forward because they can't be seen. Inkstorm makes it a little bit safer for your team to move forward because of the healing effect that it provides. You see, compared to Inkstorm, Splatter Color Screen is really not all that great. Everything that Splatter Color Screen can do, Inkstorm does a way better job of, which is why I propose that this special should get a few buffs. Alright, so I've talked about how bad Splatter Color Screen is and why it's so bad, but now it's time to give a few buffs to the special. To start, I'd like to buff the damage, going from 30 to 50. A buff like this would help it combo with most of the weapons that it's on, specifically 52 Gal Deco and Foil Flingzaruller. I think that it would mainly help out these two weapons, since that with 52, the damage wouldn't make it a one-shot unless it dealt at least 48 damage. And as for Flingzaruller, the damage at a distance would combo better with the screen. The other two weapons with Splatter Color Screen already have pretty consistent combos, and the damage wouldn't really help them that much, so it would pretty much be the same. The next buff I think I should give it is to buff the paint output. In my opinion, the main problem with the paint is that it's too inconsistent, mainly near the end of the special's duration. So if the patches between the paint were filled, then I think it would be fine. This would probably help most shorter range weapons shark behind the screen, since most short range weapons like rollers and brushes can't paint for themselves very well. The next thing I would like to change about splatter color screen is to increase the movement speed, so that way it has more of a chance of hitting someone, and it would make it travel farther since the duration wouldn't be changed. Again, a buff like this would mostly help shorter range weapons so they don't have to move so slow when they're behind the screen. This would also make it so that you don't have to stand as far forward when you're throwing the screen for it to have an impact on the game, since the speed would be changed but the duration wouldn't be, therefore the screen would travel farther. The next buff I'd want to give splatter color screen is to make it so that it marks the enemy players when they get hit by it, sorta like a point sensor. The main reason I'd want to do this is to make people not want to pass through the screen that much, since getting located by the enemy team seems to be a pretty big deal in Splatoon. The last change I'd want to make the splatter color screen is to make it so that when you get hit, instead of making everything sound staticky, it makes all the audio cues muffled. From what I hear, this is the main problem that people with sensory issues have with the special. So I figured that muffling the sound without making everything sound staticky would give it the same effect without making it too overwhelming. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any thoughts about anything that I said in the video, please share them in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps out a lot. This is Troop Gaming, signing off.